Civilizations have long shared myths about humans controlling the hidden forces of nature. But historical accounts of Prophet Sulaiman describe a command over the supernatural realm that remains unique. He didn't just coexist with the jinns, beings described as made of smokeless fire. He forced them into a state of submission. His administration was structured like a high-functioning military machine. At the top sat Sulaiman, commanding a network where birds acted as intelligence scouts, the wind provided rapid transport, and jinns served as a tireless labor force. This network proved its worth when the hudhud bird returned from a long-range mission. It brought news of a distant, prosperous land called Sheba, a kingdom ruled by Queen Bilqis, where the people sought divinity not in the unseen, but in the physical sun. Archaeological evidence, like these towering stone pillars and ancient Sabaean inscriptions, confirms that Sheba was no myth. It was a real-world superpower, possessing immense earthly wealth and a sophisticated architectural tradition. In response to this discovery, Sulaiman bypasses a traditional military invasion. Instead, he begins maneuvers to challenge how the queen perceives the reality of her own power. Sulaiman initiates contact, sending a formal diplomatic message to Sheba. Recognizing the weight of his words, Queen Bilqis prepares to travel to his kingdom to meet the rival monarch. Before she arrives, Sulaiman issues a challenge. He wants Bilqis's gold throne brought to him immediately. This requires moving a massive, heavily guarded object across nearly 2,000 miles in a matter of hours. An Ifrit, a jinn of immense strength and speed, offers to retrieve it before the council meeting ends. The hierarchy culminates in a human advisor, Asif bin Barkia. While jinns rely on supernatural speed, Asif's influence is rooted in mastery of the scriptures. Using this divine knowledge, he brings the throne into the room in a blink, bypassing physical constraints. The event demonstrates a clear order of power. Raw supernatural force is entirely subordinate to the knowledge of the divine. Sulaiman then prepares the next phase of the queen's arrival. He commands the jinns to build an entry hall that defies conventional human construction. The jinns rapidly create a courtyard floor made of flawless, transparent glass, suspended directly over a rushing river. In this task, the jinns function as supernatural laborers, manipulating physical matter with a precision that human masons could never replicate. This diagram shows the specific visual effect of the construction. As light passes through the glass, it reflects the movement of the water below, making a solid surface indistinguishable from an open pool. Sulaiman is using the jinns to build a structure that tests the reliability of physical sight. When Queen Bilqis arrives, she is confronted by her own throne, already sitting in Sulaiman's palace. Her understanding of geography and the security of her borders is immediately challenged. She then approaches the palace courtyard. Seeing the river ahead, she believes she is about to walk into deep water and instinctively lifts her skirt to keep it dry. Sulaiman stops her, explaining that the ground is merely smooth glass. In an instant, the queen realizes that her senses, the very tool she uses to rule her kingdom, have failed to show her the truth. The realization is immediate. If a thin layer of glass can hide the truth of the ground she walks on, her worship of the sun, an object she only knows through her physical sight, rests on a fragile foundation. This collapse of her earthly certainty leads Bilqis to recognize a higher reality, prompting her to submit to the divine truth that Sulaiman represents. The legacy of Prophet Sulaiman's reign reveals that true power isn't found in vast earthly wealth, massive human armies, or the service of the jinns. It is found instead in the humility to recognize the limits of human perception and align oneself with divine wisdom.